This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D Show.
Live from the Raw Radio X studios in downtown Detroit, this is the IT in the D Show.
Never in my life have I seen Dave so happy of listening to Wham during the break.
He was actually doing his Wembley Fraggle little head bop thing.
Jitterbug dance.
Yeah.
This is segment 3, episode 84. This is the IT and the D Show. We are sitting here in the Raw Radio X studios in the Russell Industrial Center, beautiful Midtown Detroit, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy. We're here with Dave the Geek, Jeff the Voice of Reason. Segment 3 is brought to you by W3R Consulting. We just did a big job fair with them. They are hiring out the wazoo at Comerica and got a ton of other openings. If you are looking for a gig, check them out, w3r.com. And you can get us online, itinthed.com, Twitter, Facebook /itinthed. And Brian did make a good comment about during the break about Windows, what happened to Windows 9. And he says, just getting Windows 10.
Yeah, saw that, yeah.
Because Windows 7, 8, 9.
You know the reason why they didn't do it?
Why?
Because they realized that with trying to do a global find through the code, there's still so much legacy code sitting in there from Windows 95
Windows
and Windows 98
Good God.
that it wasn't practical.
Good. Well, Spaceballs.
It's like 7-minute abs.
Spaceballs 3, the search for Spaceballs 2. How that
Right.
never got legs. It makes me
So in other words, what they're admitting is they're actually just lazy.
Yeah.
All right.
It's all everybody inherits code. That's how that
Yep,
works.
that's pretty much what it is.
There comes a time where a building is so old,
comes a time.
you just say knock it down and let's build new.
Yep.
And I have no issue with that whatsoever.
Well,
You've been, Windows 90? Yeah, you've been 20 years, you've been stacking garbage code.
what was the reason?
rid of it.
What was the reason that they gave to ditch Internet Explorer to replace it with a new?
Because no one uses it. It's changing your bar name because you got bad Yelp reviews. Now you're going to start fresh because everyone. At Cisco they say don't use IE. We're on. They put us all on Chrome.
Yeah, same thing at Chrysler. We're all using Chrome.
When corporate's saying don't use IE, something's wrong.
right.
Or right.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, Dave, point taken. Point taken. I'm saying from a Microsoft standpoint,
Right.
Not from a. But Chrome, Firefox, no IE like on anything anymore.
Yeah.
Like, all right, fine. I
remember back in the day at Chrysler, all the systems were programmed to be embedded to only work on IE.
Same with HP.
Yeah.
You couldn't use anything else.
Well.
Now, dead to me.
Good times.
So we have guests.
We do. So we got the fine folks here from Startup Weekend, the Pontiac edition. I didn't even know that existed.
Yes, it's the very first Startup Weekend in Pontiac.
Yay.
That's cool because, for years, Pontiac was like the hot spot place to go. Businesses was moving there. They had lofts opening. Then all of a sudden, the floor got pulled, the rug, right?
It was the Royal Oak of Northern Oakland County.
It was, and then the rug got pulled out, and then it turned into a ghost town. But there's a resurgence going on.
Right.
So what's going on? What's what do you? I mean, they're doing this in Detroit. So where are you guys pulling? Where do you hope to pull people from to come to this event?
Well, we're trying to pull people from Wayne County, Oakland County, Macomb County, so Detroit, Lansing, Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti, anywhere in southeastern Michigan. That's where we're trying to reach out to.
Well, and so I guess let's take a step back. So what is Startup Weekend? Like, for those that don't know, what is the concept behind a Startup Weekend event?
So essentially, this is Amos' journey. Startup Weekend concept is about creating time out of no time and making something big happen.
Suddenly, I need to go to Startup Weekend. I got no time.
Where were these guys like 3 years ago?
Right.
So essentially, it's a 54 hours event whereby different people from different professional background, designer, developer, marketer, accountant, they all come together. Some we pitch and ask what they need. And what they need is in the crowd that we vote for their idea and they go work on it. The goal is not to have a product at the end of the weekend, but to have what we call market viable product.
Okay.
Yep.
So this has been going on all over the country, and we realized that the opportunity is there to have the first one in Pontiac, and we came together as a community to do it.
Very cool. So, like, I mean, are there any like companies getting behind this? Is this just like a total grassroots thing? Like, what's this like? Why is it coming together the way it is?
It's definitely everyone in the community is getting together. So it's all the businesses that are in Pontiac already. We're already trying to grow Pontiac. We're trying to make a future city of Pontiac to get it back to where it used to be when we remember from the 90s, early 2000s. So any company can get involved. Any individual can get involved. It's free flow for anyone that just wants to see businesses come back to Pontiac or might have an idea that can be innovative for the city of Pontiac.
So is it strictly tech, or like, I mean,
No.
is it like what's? I guess that's a good question. Like, we talk about any business. I mean, that's kind of a broad scope. I mean, I would like to see Clutch Cargo's not be a church again.
Yeah, I know. Right.
That place has got an identity crisis.
Well, Startup Weekend, it used to be really, really techy. Like, it's known
it's
for
like
being
us.
tech. But we're trying to
Used to be.
open up the door for everyone. It's not just tech. We need people with the idea. We need people who want to start a business but don't have any tech skills or no background in tech, or we need web developers that might not have business skills. So that's the beauty of having all of these people with all these different backgrounds that say, hey, we want entrepreneurship and we get it.
Okay.
God, to bring the nightlife back in Pontiac would be my favorite thing ever. I mean, there was a time.
Dude, I used to love going. And I know this is like your least favorite kind of bar ever. I used to love going to JD's Key Club.
No, I know you did.
The dueling piano bar. Those were phenomenal.
It
nights.
wasn't a bad place to start the night.
Yeah,
But, I mean, I've been going to.
It's like New Hampshire. It's a great place to be.
Yeah,
from.
yeah. Not to end. But I mean, going to Industry, Ultimate Sports Bar, Clutch Cargo's Tonic. I got so much history.
Well, what was the bar? Like the big, huge bar that was right there on the corner. Like, isn't it?
That was Tonic.
Oh, it's Crowfoot.
Tonic,
now.
well, it's-
Yeah.
Crowfoot's the only one that's left. Tonic's
Well, no,
gone.
isn't it like a studio something or other? Like, wasn't it Bo's Brewery and Bistro?
Well, there's
for a
isn't
while?
there
That's
they're
just a
still-
restaurant.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a huge haunted house thing?
Airbus.
Airbus.
Airbus,
Yep.
yeah.
It's right around the corner from North Saginaw. It's on Perry
Yeah.
Street.
It's the Guinness record holding largest haunted house, like I think in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that's a full time job for
It's got
people.
skeletons hanging off the side of the building.
Well, so does the sixth floor. What's your point?
Here, yeah.
So let's bring that back to the startup. thing, right? That becomes something that who knows, who's listening, that might have a good idea how we can leverage technology to drive people back to those clubs, right? Essentially motivating people to come out. It's also important to mention that OU Inc. is part of this.
Okay, we
The,
know that.
the incubator.
Yes.
Yeah, yep. Know them very well.
OU Inc. is part of this. It's also important to let it be known that the top 3 winners are going to have awards. The first winner gets 1 year incubation period with EDN incubation,
Okay.
which is going to be sitting in the heart of Pontiac.
Very cool.
So and like what comes along with that? I mean, like, do they get marketing support? Do they get like what goes along with being in the? Folks
They
don't know
get-
what an incubator is, so
They get office space, they get limited professional support, and also they will get I'm drawing
co-working
blank right
plus.
now.
Yeah.
A co-working plus place, and the limited professional support that comes with it, and if you're getting limited professional support, you're also part of that professional support puts you in front of possible funding.
right.
But the reality of it is that
AKA
most of
clients.
these-
Yeah.
most of these startups are probably not ready. So being able to get groomed
Yep.
to be ready, it goes a long way.
So Amos, let me ask you a question. At what level? I mean, can someone come with a pipe dream idea, or should they be in business for a year and they don't know where to go? What's the perfect level of quote unquote? 'Cause startup, you can talk about a startup for 5 years, right? What's the perfect level to be a part
Yeah,
of?
you don't want to have
So
vaporware there.
the rule of the game, if you want to be in the running for the top 3, is that you shouldn't have worked on this idea before the weekend. If you're working on it before the weekend, you're still allowed to come. You just cannot compete.
So it's not the bar napkin idea that me and Dave had when at 3 a.m, like this past weekend.
Well, no, it is apparently
Yeah,
because God knows we have 8,000 ideas that we haven't actually done any work on.
Point taken.
That is very correct. Yep.
All the app ideas we have are insane that we haven't.
Wait, so just to be clear, so you're saying that that is the preferred way? Like you would want to have somebody coming into this event cold and working on it there?
Yes, that's what it's designed for. However, if you've been working on something before, you're still welcome to come. You just can be the top 3 winner, and you're still welcome to.
How would you know that I had been working on this for 2 years already?
Well, that it would tell, right? We're all in the IT industry. We know what you can do in 24
someone
hours.
in the room will know.
Versus 24 years.
Damn networking.
Yeah, but it's important to also say that they can still get the advantage of the incubator system. They just cannot have it for free, but they will be able to have discounted price or things of that nature.
So one of the things that I think that you touched on earlier that is actually really cool about the whole Startup Weekend concept is it's okay to not have a team put together. Like it's okay to just be the person with a business idea, because there are going to be other people that show up that are techies. Like there will be developers that have no business idea, but they can write code. There will be marketing people that have neither tech skills nor business ideas, but know how to market stuff out. And part of the whole weekend process is kind of doing the opening of the old Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, Cavalier, Ranger, and Acrobat.
We had Cliff Nowicki on that participated in Code Michigan, and it was the same thing. Like he showed up, and he got paired up with a designer, and he was a developer, and it was like, oh, nice to meet you. Let's work together.
Yep. So we can sum that up to R&R: resource sharing and risk sharing.
Yeah. So, like, how many? I guess how many folks? Like, I guess there's a good question. When is this event taking place?
Oh, that would help.
It's going to be
and where?
It's going to be taking place this weekend, Friday, March 27th through the 29th, and it's going to be at 4 North Saginaw, Pontiac, Michigan, and the zip code is 48342.
So, for those is that
4 North.
That a building that people know?
Yeah. A lot of people know it for the bar. It's a bar. It's a bar called Four Brothers. That's on the main level,
Okay.
and 4 North is directly above Four Brothers, which is across the street from the Crowfoot.
So, for example, when we need creativity and more ideas, we just go downstairs.
Yeah. Yep.
Exactly.
No, it's like Comic-Con. 1 lap, 2 beers. Right. 1 lap, 2 beers.
I like it.
And so, like, how many folks do you have? Like, I mean, how's response been so far? Like, is there a good crowd already coming? Is there a particular demographic among that mix that you need more of that you haven't seen yet?
We definitely need more developers. We have had some non-techie people respond. We had a few developers, but I know developers and designers are really the key to making a successful startup weekend.
That's a broad stroke, like developer Java, PHP, HTML, like all over the board.
Yes,
doesn't matter.
it's going to be octopus. Because we don't know which idea is going to be popular. People are going to, it's an octopus affair, right? People say, I have an idea, and then people listen to what they have to say.
So whatever tool works.
Pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
Pretty much. Because remember, at the end of the day, it's after the event that they're going to work on the real product for the production.
So, and how does that process work? Like, I mean, is it like, so I'm someone with a business idea. How do I get paired up with a dev? How do I get paired up with a designer? Like, is it like, hey, I stand up in the front of the room and here's my shtick, here's my idea, and 8 people raise their hands and say,
you
yeah,
carry
I'm
an orange flag, I'll carry a red flag.
Yeah, I'm a developer and I want to work on that. And, I mean, how does that work?
You're really close to being accurate.
I knew there was going to be flags involved.
So if you're pitching your idea, first you have 60 seconds, 1 minute to say, hey, this is my idea. I need your support. This is what I plan on to do with it. And after everyone pitches, the crowd will say, okay, yes, I'm going to join your idea. So they can either vote, they can stand next to you. Exactly. So
Let it die.
I want gong show format. I don't know why more of these.
Get out a huge cane.
Dude, I've said this for a long time now. We need to have like the IT and the D version of like VC tech funding, and you get up and you've got like 60 seconds or 2 minutes to make your pitch, but it's going to be like the three of us, like the old Gong Show, and we're going to have a giant gong behind us, and if you suck, you suck. You're going to get gone. And then you just
No apologies.
Or be connected to like a taser and you get zapped.
oh no.
So you're coming up next. Here's your shot collar.
right.
No do-overs, no takebacks.
So, but like, what happens though if like, so you've got 8 people with ideas and 8 developers, but you've got like 7 developers that all want to work on one thing, and then you've got 7 business people that don't.
Damn it! You took my idea, right? Yeah.
No, we're not going to have that situation because we have coaches that we encourage people to understand the value in having the mixed blend of what you need. Because if you're all the same kind of people, you're useless to each other, right?
Yeah.
But if you blend it off, then everybody brings value. Value exchange becomes the common theme in the room.
Interesting. So you said 56 hours. So I mean, I'm assuming this is
54 hours.
Oh, sorry, 54. So this is
Friday.
straight through the night. Everybody bring a sleeping bag.
That's a choice. That's a choice.
Is it really?
That's a choice, but we will lock the door. So once the groups are formed, because again, you pitch, you recruit your.
Can we just sign Bob up?
I can't go downstairs to the bar. I'm out.
I want to leave once in a while. Go to the bar.
So you pitch, you recruit, and you form your group. And part of the rule of the game is that you and your group become the co-founder of what you go to become in the future.
Right.
So if you decide that the whole weekend you're going to work in Crawford, that's your choice. If you decide that for the whole weekend you're going to work out of Tonic, that's your choice. But
Call the wives. We're not coming home.
honey, it's for work.
It's for the common good.
Just watch Silicon Valley. You'll understand what we're doing.
So we want people to do what is most comfortable, most creative for them, but there are rules to follow at the end of the day still to check and balance.
So, like, what is the end game? Like, so
market viable product. Market viable product means that we can see or connect to what the solution is projected to look like.
It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's got to be out there and provable. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Provable. So some group will actually
So
go
obviously
to
it's in the Android store, not the Apple.
Pretty much, yeah. Right. You're not going to get, you wait 2.5 weeks for an approval. Just ship it.
Unless it's a fart app.
In the past, we've seen people that actually gone out and have customer and convert customer by the end of the weekend.
Really?
So yes.
Wow.
Interesting.
I have ideas. That's what I do. I get ideas, and I tell Dave, execute.
And then my to-do list is 1.5 miles long.
Right.
And
it never gets done.
Right.
Well, no, we had this conversation this weekend.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, he was like, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. And he's like, oh, well, this is the only thing I have in my to-do list. I'm like, you ever notice how your to-do list is so much shorter than my to-do list?
No, we explain this. I explain this because I don't put go to ATM. You have that as a task. I have that as it's just going to get done.
Yeah, because I'm going to do it.
And you have a list go to Taco Bell. Oh yeah, I did.
You don't do every waking minute of your day as a task to-do list. Well, I saw your calendar.
You know me. I'm nowhere near that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you saw my calendar for the first 3 days of this week. I have that planned out for me.
Right.
So I guess we're coming up close to the break. What's the URL, or how do people go to the website?
What's the sign-up process?
Well, the best way
Details.
to reach out to us or contact us is via email, and our email address is pontiac@startupweekend.org. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/startupweekendpontiac, and you can follow us on Twitter at SWPontiac.
Also, there's a designated website on the Startup Weekend website. If you go to up.com and you just put in Pontiac, it will give you the Pontiac event where you can register. because we're on this show, if you're listening to us right now and you decide to register, you get 10% off.
So that's a good question. There's a cost associated to this?
Yes.
Okay. So what is that?
Well, we had an early bird special to where you can get the tickets for $20.
Probably gone because it's this weekend.
Exactly.
Right.
Because we're on this show.
So I shouldn't tweet that out right now then?
Yeah, no.
Well, the current price is $30 per
that's still
attendee.
Oh yeah, that's
that's really inexpensive. Typically, startup
About
weekend is
$1,500
about $75
talent
to $150 per participant.
I mean, there's events in this town that just to listen to someone speak is $1,000. So
Right.
that's
Hey,
a
you can
party.
buy your TED ticket for $8,500.
Oh my God!
You might get a fashion show.
But so if they use coupon code IT in the D, they're 10%.
I'm sorry,
off.
what kind of code?
Coupon?
Coupon. It's like
There's no letter Q in that
Yes,
word.
there is.
Coupon.
It's coupon code
It's a
IT in the D.
coupon.
You're a coupon.
he's a code.
It's Ron White. It's a coupon.
I'll give you a coupon.
He actually didn't say coupon. He was just saying that anyone
It's
listening to the show.
Coupon.
Yeah, he just said code. He was smart.
Right.
But yeah, give us all the. We'll put all the info out on the site.
Well, no, but finish that thought.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so basically, using the code IT in the D drops it back down to the early bird price, or
Yes.
close to it.
That will drop it down for you.
Okay.
And do it tonight. Outside of tonight, you're back to the regular price.
Ooh, so it's
live
listeners.
only.
Oh.
yeah,
Throw that on
scarcity
Twitter.
mindset. Scarcity mindset.
Right. Throw that on Twitter.
All right, very cool. So, I mean, anything we didn't get to that you guys wanted to cover?
No, we got to all of it. We look forward to seeing people there, people that have attended this in Detroit, Ann Arbor, Lansing before. Please let people know how valuable this is.
Yeah,
And
no, that's
you're
awesome.
also welcome to come back because we have the whole of Michigan to make better.
That's awesome.
And I think it's great.
Very cool.
You're breathing. Anybody that breathes life back into Pontiac's a friend of mine.
Yeah, it's an uphill battle.
Yes, support Pontiac.
No, I live in Auburn Hills. You guys are neighbors, so I got to represent. So no, I appreciate the you guys breathing some life back.
Awesome.
So we'll be back with Mr. Mark Larson from Falling Down Beer Company.
We haven't forgotten about you.
This is the IT and the D show.
We'll be right back.
Live from the Raw Radio X studios in downtown Detroit, this is the IT in the D show.
Hi, this is Martin Cove, John Kreese from the Karate Kid movie, and you're listening to IT in the D.
Optech is an award-winning professional services firm specializing in connecting Fortune 500 and government clients to top information technology, engineering, and healthcare talent from coast to coast. Optech's innovative solutions address the critical needs of clients in the banking, manufacturing, insurance, utility, healthcare, and government sectors. Optech offers its employees outstanding career opportunities, supporting innovative companies with cutting-edge technology.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D show.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit, one beer at a time.